In recent years, ESPN has built an entire narrative around Russell Westbrook's struggles with the Lakers. But now, as he finds new life in Denver, the question must be asked: did ESPN misread the situation? Or was the real story hidden in plain sight? Today, in this video, we will break down how Nikola Jokic, that steady superstar of the Nuggets, continues to pull aside ESPN's narrative-driven coverage to redefine how everyone sees Westbrook's career. The moment Russell Westbrook became part of the Los Angeles Lakers, the very first news that is covered by ESPN is on his every move, a slip apparently being defined as a sensational event. Westbrook's debut in the strong spotlight let him step into smooth synchrony with a system that naturally wasn't made for his skills. In such a light, he didn't fit well alongside LeBron James. As thrust into the narrative by ESPN's analysts without much contextual consideration, the nature of having a specific role and the complexity of playing for a team filled with egos and heavy expectations. The focus quickly shifted to Westbrook's inability to play in a more conventional off-the-ball style, which was inappropriate for his extremely energetic and ball-dominating game. Instead of highlighting such strengths as his explosiveness and ability to reach and create plays at the basket, ESPN flat-out condemns him as a liability. His problems were emphasized outside shooting. This doesn't tell half the story. His game does not comprise consistent three-point shooting. It's about pushing the pace, playing in transition, and tying together explosive plays in the open court. This way, when such a system allows him to show his talents, it works. The Lakers' offense, and especially with the trend regarding LeBron and Anthony Davis, did not provide the flexibility and the space that Westbrook suffocated. The team's effective flow has been further dented by injuries to stars like Davis. Instead of this, they addressed systemic inadequacies and lack of support, and ESPN decided to take Westbrook's slam dunk as a scapegoat for the team's failures instead of discussing how poor the team was systemically or considering the lack of support. Constantly, the media hammered home that Westbrook was not a winner, creating a negative feedback loop. Fans and analysts alike started to question Westbrook's ability to adjust, and the imprint of one who was formerly an MVP began to feel a little distant. The constant barrage of criticism built a narrative that Westbrook was washed up, that he no longer belonged in a high-level rotation. But what ESPN missed was the broader context. Westbrook's issues weren't about his individual talent, but rather about the lack of a proper fit with the Lakers. The system in Los Angeles didn't allow him to thrive, and instead of focusing on how he could be used effectively, the media opted for sensationalism, overlooking how much of the Lakers' struggles were tied to factors beyond Westbrook's control. In the end, ESPN's image of Westbrook in Los Angeles has only served to provide a baseless narrative of his decline that ignores the real reasons behind his struggles. Rather, it fed the media drama surrounding his fit as a player on the Lakers and added to the story that Westbrook had become toxic in the locker room. This only represented a narrow angle that overshadowed Westbrook's talent and future possibilities. The problem of whether Westbrook would be a problem in the locker room or on the court would merely have turned out to be an error awaiting proper system and proper leadership to get its fairy tale ending. Once Westbrook joined the Nuggets, a string of critics chastised him for the trade that saw him come over to the Mile High City. But much skepticism has now been kept at bay given how the team has laid down a model of building for the entire team and enhancing with a really unique style by which Nikola Jokic leads that has now appeared to be the best soil for Westbrook to shoot up with a new purpose and success. The approach will definitely sum up the outcome in words like redemption, as the player probably plays basketball far better than he has done in the last few years. Rather than forcing Westbrook to become a square peg in the round hole that the Lakers did by trying to get him into their criminal mindsets, the Nuggets chose to play to his strengths and not shape themselves around him. Nikola Jokic is one of the brightest and most self-sacrificing stars in the NBA, and he plays a crucial role in opening the door wide for Westbrook to redefine the boundaries of basketball of the two of them. The two make each other so playing well because Jokic has the court to himself inside the paint to allow opportunities for the others. With strong energy, driving towards the basket before shaking loose and scoring, plus an incredibly fast speed transition game, Westbrook seems to be truly suited to the patented Jokic style. The Nuggets probably would have maximized their chances of capturing the added energy Westbrook expends by simply letting the veteran focus on attacking the hoop and pushing the ball before making plays for others. Denver doesn't condition Westbrook to change up his transition game to become a knockdown shooter. They set him loose to get into the chaos of the transition and score on the fast breaks. From all angles, they have pushed forward for Westbrook. One thing that comes with this freedom is a remarkable growth in performance for Westbrook himself on the home floor. For example, shots have become markedly more increased in percentage from all those he's almost wide open on due to the numerous chances that Denver provides for him to score. Instead, the ball is handed to Westbrook on the open court, where he can use his speed and decision-making to break down defenses. Effectively outsized by the vastness of the court, the former Oklahoma City point guard becomes more efficient and therefore quite noticed in percentage gains across the board. In addition, Westbrook isn't really going to have to carry the entire offensive load in Denver, because when Jokic is available, he becomes a bona fide candidate for the MVP for any consideration because he is capable of controlling the game. He can score from all three levels, pass with unmatched skill, and even be the defensive anchor if necessary, creating a situation that allows Westbrook to thrive in a supporting role, where he can slash to the hoop, facilitate, and do what he does best, minus the pressure of being the primary scorer. It is about more than just him in Denver, and that has really been a big deal for him to bounce back. The Nuggets maintain their spacing in offense with role players like Michael Porter Jr. and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Denver's offense becomes that much better with multiple shooters surrounding Jokic and Westbrook. The result is that Westbrook's slashes to the basket will not be as cluttered, and he would have multiple options on every possession as he can kick the ball out to open shooters or lob it to Jokic inside. This flexibility in offense was never available to him in Los Angeles, with his space being clogged most of the time and the offensive flow of the Lakers being highly predictable. Denver flourishes in that marriage and common good, rather than an emphasis on individual stardom. It's creating an atmosphere from which Westbrook can really benefit. Westbrook could now show that twist of talent even as he contributes to the team's performance with Jokic as the main concert. Not only is he reviving an impressive career for Westbrook, but he is also creating stability in Denver so that fully integrates into the competition of the Western Conference. The success story of Westbrook with the Denver Nuggets is a far cry from his previous tale with Los Angeles. Not only goes to show Westbrook doesn't have to shoulder the whole offensive load in Denver, Jokic is there. And with him, the Nuggets have a really credible MVP candidate, one who can control the game. From all the three levels, he can score, pass with unmatched skill, and even be that defensive anchor if need be. This gives him the opportunity to allow Westbrook to thrive in a supporting role, where he can slash to the hoop, facilitate, and do what he does best without the ever-present extreme pressure to be the primary scorer. It's just not about him in Denver, and that's what has been huge for his resurgence. Then, proper spacing is assured by the presence of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Michael Porter Jr. With multiple shooters surrounding Jokic and Westbrook, Denver's offense becomes tougher to defend. Westbrook can drive to the basket without bumping into his teammates and has multiple options on every possession as he can kick the ball out to open shooters or lob it to Jokic inside. Such offensive freedom has never been available to him in Los Angeles, as he was often confined in a cramped space, while the flow of offense with the Lakers was very predictable most of the time. Denver is a much better place to be in this marriage and common good rather than focusing on an individual star, creating an environment from which Westbrook can benefit. As a focal point, if it opens the door again for Westbrook to display that quirk of ability while contributing to the team's overall performance, that will only be in favor of reviving Westbrook's career, stabilizing Denver, and fully bringing him into the competitive fold of the Western Conference. The success story of Westbrook with the Denver Nuggets is a far cry from his previous tale with Los Angeles. Westbrook will not have to shoulder the load because, with Jokic around, the cool, calm MVP contender Denver Nuggets have someone who can even end up controlling the game. He can score, pass with unmatched skill, even be that defensive anchor when needed. Given that, it creates an environment where Westbrook can thrive in a supporting role while slashing to the hoop, facilitating, and doing. The fact that ESPN is not able to bring out the exact reality of the struggles of Russell Westbrook behind the scenes with the Lakers pretty much says it all about the modern sports media. ESPN is a network that survives and thrives on sensationalism and drama, and so it often overlooks the true reality of an individual for a built story. Westbrook's Los Angeles experience would be a case study in how narratives can be built up about a subject from incomplete knowledge and select capture, as well as a nearly total dependence upon highly dramatizing. ESPN's overemphasis on the Lakers' star-studded cast and their pursuit of another championship led to a myopic view of the team's struggles, with Westbrook cast as the scapegoat. At the heart of ESPN's coverage was a fixation on the Lakers' biggest star, LeBron James. As the team's alpha player, LeBron naturally became the lens through which everything was viewed. Westbrook's role as the third star was viewed as ancillary, and the media often scrutinized how he fit or didn't fit into LeBron's system. When the Lakers faltered, it was easy for ESPN to lay the blame on Westbrook. Of course, he's the one who's supposed to bring the energy, the athleticism, and the creativity, but for now, his game has wobbled at cross purposes with the entire group's flow. However, what this ESPN article disagrees with is the fact that Westbrook was not the issue about LA. The team's system and structure were unlike his skills. The Lakers' offense was designed to thrum to the beats of LeBron's ball dominance, not allowing Westbrook his own rhythm in how he liked to play. There were also failures in the Lakers' spacing and the absence of key players, both of which limited Westbrook even more. Rather than recognizing these systemic issues, ESPN placed the blame squarely on Westbrook, with little acknowledgement of the broader context. This one-dimensional narrative ignored how the Lakers' struggles were tied to much bigger factors, such as chemistry issues and a lack of depth. This blind spot in ESPN's coverage was much broader than Westbrook. They kept covering all possible scores from one part of LA, but they utterly ignored the quiet brilliance of Nikola Jokic in Denver. He never used to be as much of a scorer for creating opportunities for guys like Westbrook. An ESPN reporter would rather skewer how unselfish play and leadership from Jokic actually rejuvenated Westbrook's career than tell a tale around individual damage or high-stakes drama. It does not show up in a network, covering things that part of Westbrook's life was about the positive element, Jokic leadership. ESPN had not made room for that coverage because they knew silence and stealthy, methodical success don't create loud noises, unlike the attention-seeking headlines. Building and nurturing a story around Westbrook's putative toxicity in LA reveals a gaping hole in this strategy for coverage. Most of their powerful headlines were mostly created out of controversial events, and therefore missed the smaller underlying reasons that led to Westbrook's struggles. More importantly, the alleged infection always failed to consider the fact that a change in environment would turn a completely different picture there. In short, with his coverage of drama at ESPN concerning the time Westbrook spent in his Los Angeles setting, no one could consider a very different system, one led by a selfless, team-oriented superstar like Jokic, could be the place in which he was again unleashed and thrived. Nikola Jokic's leadership with the Denver Nuggets has been understated in the media but plays a huge role in the success of his teammates, especially Russell Westbrook. Jokic's calm and collected demeanor contrasts with Westbrook's fiery playing style, and this has allowed Westbrook to rediscover his best form. Unlike the intense spotlight of the Los Angeles Lakers, Jokic's environment gives Westbrook the space to flourish without feeling the weight of constant scrutiny. Jokic's free-flowing, trust-based approach to basketball has allowed Westbrook to be more creative, pushing the pace and attacking the basket without the burden of being the primary scorer. Jokic has got a whole lot of ways that he could create plays from the post for Westbrook and make him a pretty nice playmaker. But more importantly, he has a leadership style completely opposed to forcing his teammates and rather empowering them to achieve. This difference from the star-dominated culture in the Lakers has been what Westbrook needs for revival. He has finally provided support and confidence in Westbrook to put something in him that had been lacking in Los Angeles, and therefore gets Westbrook to take a role with which he can thrive. Together, Jokic and Westbrook form a partnership that maximizes each other's talents, with Jokic's unselfishness lifting the entire team, and Westbrook benefiting from an environment that nurtures his skills. It's a redemption story for Westbrook, and a testament to how the right fit and leadership can transform a player's career. Nikola Jokic and Russell Westbrook's partnership in Denver serves as a reminder that the narrative isn't always what the media makes it out to be. ESPN's coverage of Westbrook's time with the Lakers focused too much on sensationalism and high drama, ignoring the deeper issue of a poor system fit. Under the supervision of Jokic, Westbrook has risen to heights previously inaccessible to him. It shows the power of a right environment. So the next time a media outlet tells a story that seems too good to be true, maybe we should all take a step back and ask, is this the real story or just another drama in the making? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave a comment below and subscribe for more.